ZICO,
Yes, yes. Good night, viewers. Good night, viewers. How are we doing tonight? I'm looking forward tonight. I'm excited about tonight. This show has been awesome so far. So, good night, panelists. Let's get into this. All right. I believe that all law-abiding citizens should be paying attention to this. This is a very important matter. When I first heard it, initially, I thought, well, it's okay. We're gonna fight against crime. I just looked at it very callously and just like, all right, cool. This is means to crack down on certain criminal organizations. But when you really go into the nitty gritty of it and see how it was used, especially in other countries before, and see how it was manipulated and used maliciously, we understand. We begin to understand that this is very, 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 very serious and can be very dangerous, especially when it comes down to the average citizen.
ZICO.
Yeah, I think this is a huge overreach on the government's part, especially when it comes to the oral warrants. We know how this can be manipulated. We know how this can be used in the favor of the government. I think this can also be used when you use words such as national security or even words such as criminal activity. That's also very vague as well. How serious is these criminal offenses? Is it minor? What would you consider to be an offense, or what would you consider to be national security? Understand? And then saying that an oral warrant by saying somebody tell me that I could come and tap this phone, so, and then afterwards going back up, and I just think that is very, very I just think it's a huge overreach on the government's part. I do not agree with it at all. I mean, at first, as I said earlier, I just thought that, yeah, this is cool. We getting down on the criminal activity within Barbados, probably trying to disorganize some of the criminal organizations within Barbados. But when we look at it like this, I mean, like, this is an invasion of privacy, especially for the average citizen of Barbados, especially when it goes against the grain. And for those who speak against certain situations and within Barbados as well. I mean, like, what's next? Like, seriously, what is next? And it's becoming very scary that, that somebody could look in and listening to your conversations without you actually knowing what it is.
Or is it
They're written deliberately.
I think it's purposely written like this. It's purposely written like this. If you want to hide the truth, put it in a book, and Bajans don't read. That's sad to say, but Bajans don't read. So if we can vaguely write something like this in legal terms and just go into Parliament and speak passionately about Hibajibo and paint a picture, and Bajans just go with it. Bajans just look for clips. Bajans don't really go into things deeply. So it's purposely written like this. It's not that they're bad at their jobs. They just know how to hide the truth. Hide the truth in writing, because we do not read. And that's the sad fact of it. We just do not read. I can speak from first-hand knowledge that I know for a fact that people been using certain apps like Telegram and certain apps like that to do criminal activity as well. This is no surprise or shock that people's phones were being tapped. This is not surprise. I'm not against the bill. Let me make this very clear. I'm not against the bill. Anything to tackle organized crime, I am for. But when it comes down to vague writings and certain stuff like that will impact the average law-abiding citizen. And I know for sure that could be used also to target for political agendas and stuff along those kind of lines. When you use words like national security just means basically national issues, so that's just my issue. But really and truly, I know for a fact, first-hand knowledge, I know for a fact that criminals being using different apps to spread messaging and different codings and stuff to spread messaging already. So it's no surprise to me at all. There's no surprise.
So you don't think it's going to work? You want to weigh in on this?
It's not going to work.
Don,
5% is his best case scenario. Let me say 5% was his best case scenario. It does happen though in mistakes when it comes to WhatsApp and Instagram and certain apps along those lines. In the same state of national security. So what happens is that government agency basically sends in a request to basically either pull up either the IP address of a particular network or whatever the case is, then for you to get the information. So it can happen. Trust me, it can happen because it does happen. I think these citizens first need to let their voices and concerns be known, not just be known, but fight against it. If you don't fight against it, no.
Let's talk about the how.
All right. First of all, let's start talking about Saturday. We have the March Saturday coming up. All right, first let our voices be known, our concerns be known for sure. Because I mean, like it's too much overreach from the government. I mean, our privacy is being invaded. Yes, we already have the cameras. We're talking about the tents. We're talking now about intercepting your phone calls. I mean, like, what is next? You know, then next we're talking about where you can be basically walking more with a GPS chip and your ID cards. So I think is now is the time to really speak upon it. Not let our silence and our ignorance get in the way of the government just playing God. You know, I just really think we need to really make a stand right now. And just don't like, I mean, like, if you gotta go in front of the parliament and keep noise, let them know. I mean, like, we just cannot stand by on the wayside and just allow the government to play God with our lives. We need to be really, really proactive where this is concerned, because this it can plague us, it will plague us, it will be used against us, especially abiding citizen. Not really too much criminals. Criminals will find a way around it. That's the reason why they're called criminals. They will find a way around it. Yes, I do agree. I think we need to mobilize, then verbalize, and then hold them hostage with our votes. I think it needs to be said. You know, if we're going to say
hold them hostage with our votes, what does that mean? And this is why I love to speak with young people, because you guys, you're not talking around. You hitting straight. You said mobile, and Janine was hinting at that. Explain to me what talk to me straight.
First of all, we need to understand the traditional voting system in terms of we voted based on our parents, we voted based on, because it's where we come from, is voting these our whole lives, we voted these our whole lives, and we just voted just because of tradition, or just because we like a personality, not because of policy, or not because of the best interests of our people. So I think what we need to do right now is to make it known. You will not have our votes if certain needs are not met, if certain things are not met. And I don't think we do that when it comes to election. We just ask for money, or we just ask for something very vague as well. We want jobs, or we want something, but no, we need to, when it comes to policy, pay attention to policy. I don't think Bajans pay attention to policy, and go and hold them hostage. We're not giving you our votes if this is not done, especially when it comes down to marching, when it comes down to actually being an activist for certain situations within Barbados, the social ills within Barbados, going out there and saying, you know what, you will not have our votes if this is not met, if this is not done. We do not agree with this bill. That's a true democracy. Do not wait for them to give us the power. We have the power. We actually give them the power, you know. So understand that we have the power. We can take back that power from them. And once we understand that we really do hold the cards, I think we can really change the playing field and really hold them hostage. Yes, of course it is worth it. As I said, once again, we have the power. We, the people, have more power than the pen itself, you know, and we have to let our voices be known. We have to let them know that we're displeased with this. Is not a partisan thing. It's not, if you're BD, whatever the case may be, you have to come and stay and, I mean, like, speak for your rights. Speak for your rights. I understand. Empower the people to speak. I know we believe that people, they say, you know, we're going to march and what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So what is it going to do when we do nothing? You know, evil prevail when good people fail to act. So if we decide to stay in our houses and just mumble either in a social media comment or something, no, get out there and let your voices be known. If you're displeased with it, go out there and say, you know what, I didn't need to get rid of the bill, or we want certain changes within the bill. We need to go out there and let our voices be known. We are the people.
Are you going to be there on Saturday?
This Saturday, unfortunately, cannot. I have a session with some youth that I'm counseling. So that's around that same time as well. But